German Chancellor Angela Merkel and her Christian Democratic Union are poised to win Germany's national elections September 24. But for the first time since the Second World War, Germany's parliament also looks set to include an extreme right-wing party, the Alternative for Deutschland, Alternative for Germany, or AfD. Since its founding in 2013, the party, led by economist Alice Weidel and former CDU politician Alexander Gauland, has been shaking up the German political landscape. It is currently represented in 13 of Germany's 16 state legislative bodies. Polls suggest that among Germany's smaller, less dominant political parties, the AfD is leading with double-digit numbers. It's running third after the CDU and the Social Democratic Party. If the election results in another coalition government, the AfD would become the opposition leader. It is worrying, says Michael Fuchs, a Christian Democrat Bundestag member since 2002. For the first time in the history of the Federal Republic of Germany, there will be a political party within the walls of the Reichstag, parliament, building which does not distance itself from the Nazi past and which tolerates members who publicly express themselves in racist and xenophobic language. Here's what to know about the party and its prospects. What is the AfD? The AfD started 4 years ago as a conservative populist party, rejecting the euro. It came to greater prominence after Germany's migration crisis began in 2015, and attracted members from mainstream political parties. Since then, it has become more openly racist and anti-Muslim, favoring an anti-immigration agenda. Its leaders have also called on Germany to stop apologizing for, and indeed to be proud of, its Nazi past. Gauland, the AfD's national spokesman, stated earlier this month, "If the French are rightly proud of their emperor and the Britons of Nelson and Churchill, we have the right to be proud of the achievements of the German soldiers in 2 world wars." The party has turned away from Germany's long-accepted political norms, says Constanze Stelzenmüller, a German political scientist at the Brookings Institution. Germany's post-war foreign policy had 2 lodestars, she says: atonement for World War II and the Holocaust, as well as reconciliation with its victims and enemies, and joining the universe of Western democracies, and specifically integration into the UN, NATO, and the European Union. The AfD more or less explicitly rejects both these orienting principles in favor of an ethno-nationalist, sovereignist, anti-European, anti-American and pro-Russian stance. She says the rise of the AfD is in keeping with movements elsewhere in the world, including in the US. All Western democracies, including the US and Germany, are seeing powerful protest movements against globalization and integration, she says. They are agitating for recapturing of control, or sovereignty, and often also of ethnic homogeneity. Although they keep talking about the nation-state, they oppose key principles of Western constitutionalism like separation of powers and the protection of minorities against the tyranny of the majority. They want a tribalization of politics. That's something the Tea Party and the US alt-right have in common with the AfD. How much power comes with leading the opposition? The opposition leader has a special role in the parliament, explains Werner Patzelt, political scientist at the University of Dresden. There are 2 advantages to being opposition leader, he says. The first is control of the chairmanship of the Committee on Budgets, which means it influences fiscal policy. Also, Patzelt says, the opposition party is ensured the right to respond first to any statement issued by the government, which in turn ensures publicity. That publicity, having a greater national platform for its views, is what worries many analysts. What are the AfD's likely legislative priorities? The party favors complete closure of Germany's borders, limiting the number of incoming refugees and prohibiting subsequent immigration of family members. It wants Germany to withdraw from the Eurozone. And it favors a ban on headscarves. Alexander Hensel, a political scientist of the Institute of Democracy Research in Göttingen, has investigated how AfD representatives have changed state governments so far. The party focuses less on constructive and consensus-oriented work, he says. With its entrance in the state parliaments, political arguments have become more polarized. Substantive debates as well as the tone and the social interaction within the parliamentary debates become more harsh. Jörg Meuthen, the opposition leader from the AfD in the state parliament of Baden-Württemberg, tells NPR, the debates in Parliament have become livelier. We offer a truly alternative political policy draft. There is a precedent for populist proposals in German politics, says the University of Dresden's Patzelt.